Good morning to everybody. Thank you all for coming and being here and having such a packed house. We're really delighted. This is our first Indiatoday Youth Summit, so it's really good to have the kind of response we've got. Actually, it's surprised us quite a bit. We didn't think that first time going we would be overbooked, so it's really very delightful for us. Indiatoday's first ever Youth Summit is being held as the first decade of the 21st century ends. It's 35 years since the first Indiatoday was published. The world and India have changed enormously since. Two-thirds of India, as you all probably know, is under 35, like most of you sitting in this hall. The numbers are huge. 459 million Indians are between 13 and 35. Of these, 333 million are literate. All of you will, through how you study, work and play, decide the shape of new India. It's a world very different from when I was a young man, or I'd like to say just younger. 35 years ago, when I started Indiatoday, it is a world of shortages and queues. It was a world of one TV channels and only two models of cars, of ration cards, not credit cards. I remember going to America in those times, and you couldn't have a credit card with a foreign exchange. And I checked into a hotel, and I registered, and the hotel stamped on my registration form a big CIA. And I asked the lady, I said, wow, this is a funny way of recruiting people. CIA. I said, what does this mean? She said, cash in advance. That means I had to pay for the room in advance, and if I ordered tea in my room and room service, I had to pay for it at that time. No credit cards. That was the kind of world we lived in when we traveled abroad. And foreign exchange was very limited. It was a time you people can't even imagine of fixed landline phones and immovable expectations, of foreign exchange restrictions abroad, which I just talked to you about, and red tape at home, of big government and small corporates, of Cold War and heated rhetoric, of no opportunities and even less hope. It was a time when we depended on the US, PL 480 for food. Now we produce so much, we don't know where to store it. It was a time when we relied on America for financial aid. Now they come to our doorstep to try and sell us armaments and nuclear reactors. Things have transformed beyond recognition. There's, of course, the internet and the mobile phone, Infosys, Indian Idol, Tata Nano and the Tata-owned Jaguar Land Rover, Vijay Mallya, Abhinav Bindra, and countless other symbols of changing India. As the government has retreated, private enterprise has grown. As markets have expanded, mindsets have changed. What tomorrow will be is what you, the youths, make of it. By 2020, just a decade from now, the average Indian will be 29 compared to 37 in China and the US, 45 in Western Europe, and 48 in Japan. Or looked at another way, by 2050, the percentage of people above the age of 65 will be 39% in the US, 53% in Germany, 67% in Japan. India, by contrast, will have only 19% above age 60. Thankfully, people like me would be a really small minority.